Hello, Melvin. How are you today?
I am wonderful. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a rather very sunny day here in California. How's your end?
Good for you, because over here it's raining. And, I'm out here in Baltimore, so
Okay,
yeah,
okay. So you guys have the rain over there. Oh,
yeah, it's
that's
been raining
sad.
all day.
That's sad. It has really been sunny today. So actually, I asked for this interview for many reasons. One being that you are so dedicated to what you do and very consistent, and I would like to see more of us in the community that are doing well. So this is the reason why I was like, we have to do this interview. But before we could even go to the interview process or just asking questions regarding what you do. I would like to know, how long ago did you leave Liberia?
Jeez, okay. I just came back from Liberia in December.
Oh,
Yeah, I was there in December. I was there for about 2 weeks in December. But
okay.
I left Liberia when I was little. I went to the Ivory Coast, which was 1990. I left Liberia, and
Okay.
then I pretty much grew up in the Ivory Coast. So
In the Ivory Coast. So
yeah,
you went to the
Ivory
Ivory
Coast.
Coast. Is it because of the war? Or like what took you there?
Oh yeah, definitely it was because of the war. So I was in
Okay.
Ivory Coast for a couple of years. Pretty much grew up in Ivory Coast, and then the war started also in Ivory Coast, so I had to leave Ivory Coast for Ghana. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think a lot of people watching this do have similar stories. During the war, most people relocated to Sierra Leone and Ivory Coast, and then when it did happen in Ivory Coast, then we all moved to Ghana, right?
Ghana, yeah.
So very similar, fortunate patterns. But yeah, we are. So then you relocated to the U.S. when?
All four,
Oh, four. Okay, so
yeah,
you've been
all
here for
four.
quite a while. So you go back
Yeah, I've been
home
here for.
often or once a year?
I've been back about 3 times now. So my
Okay,
first trip was in 2012,
okay,
and then I went back in 2016, and now I went back last year.
okay. All right. So during the course of your visits, was it like, what was it like? Why were you visiting?
Just a couple of things. First thing, the entire family were going down because we were having grandmother. My grandmother passed away in 2020, and we
Okay,
couldn't go down for her celebration, so we all went down in December last year. That
okay.
was one reason, and another thing is just to scope the land, see what's going on, and see what else we
Right.
can do in Liberia.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. And so you went there, and then you discover a lot more, right? A lot more
Oh, a
that to be
lot
done.
more,
A lot
a
more
whole lot more.
opportunities. But anyway, so the like I said, I just wanted to get the audience to know you a little bit more, and then we talk about what you do here. Like we need to promote more of our folks and those that are thriving and trying to do well. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do out here in the U.S. since you left 2004?
Sure, I can do that. First of all, again, my name is Melvin Tiet, and I am the owner of Blue Cabals. It's a clothing brand. That's one. That's
Mm-hmm.
one part of me. Another part
Okay.
is I also work career-wise. I'm a dental hygienist, so I also
Okay.
work as a dental hygienist. Yeah, and I
Wonderful.
own yeah I own this clothing business called Blue Cabals. If you ever heard about it, ever seen it, I'm the man behind the clothing brand. I
Wonderful.
and another thing, I don't really like to say this, but I'm kind of an inventor. I would say that to you
Okay.
because I also own. As we go in the interview, we talk about it more, but
Okay.
just a little bit of that. But yes, I work as a dental hygienist, and I also own a clothing brand. So,
Okay. So you started this clothing brand, right? When did
yes.
you start? When did you start it?
When did I start? I pretty much started in, I would say, about 2017. That's when I started.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
about
that's good length
2017.
of time to be in business.
Yeah,
So you started this, and in the US, right? It's kind of hard sometimes to maintain or sustain a business, right? And but
definitely.
you've had this business since 2017, about I would say 6 years.
Yes.
Once a business is able to pass 3 years mark, then you talk about sustainability and all the other things. So congratulations to you. Can you tell us
Thank you.
a little bit about your clothing line?
All right, so my clothing line is called Blue Cabals, and blue comes from the sky. So the story behind the whole name Blue Cabals is pretty much blue comes from the sky. We always say, "Oh, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit."
Right.
So when I looked up, I'm like, "Okay, we can do whatever we want to do. So the sky's the limit."
Hmm.
So that's where the blue comes from, right? And
Okay.
then Cabals, in order to pay homage back to where I'm from, Liberia, if you know about the Kavala River, that's
Yes.
where Cabals comes from.
Ah, very creative.
Yes. So, and my main reason for using Cabals is the Kavala River as a whole is because as a child during the war in Liberia, I had to cross the Kavala River into Ivory Coast. That was that was one
Ah.
thing. Yeah. And the second thing is I look at the way the water flows
Hmm.
is endless. And when you combine that with the sky being limitless, blue Cabals.
Blue
So yeah,
Cabal.
that's the name. That's the
Okay.
story behind the name Blue Cabals. Pretty much that's how it came about.
Ah. Okay. Okay. That's actually really creative.
Thank you.
You added Liberia, the element. You
Yes.
just don't forget your
And never
country. You still
forget
added
home.
that.
Never forget home.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay. So what do you sell? What can people find? Like
Oh,
what if I want to buy
I
something right
sell,
now?
I
What
sell.
do you have?
Oh, sorry. I sell T-shirts. I sell
Okay.
dresses. I sell hoodie. I sell neckties, bow ties,
Okay.
sweatshirts. I'm
Okay.
also expanding to add other things that I'm working on right now that I'm going to add to that too. But
Okay.
like we're talking about good story. So I first started with Neta, and for me, I
Okay.
believe whatever I do, it has to be different from what's out there in order for me to stand out.
Right.
So I first started with neckties. Matter of fact, it was bow ties, not even neckties. I started with bow ties first,
Okay.
and it was around my wedding time, and I was like, huh, I want something different. Everybody wear the same bow tie every time,
Yeah.
so I,
Yeah.
I actually wanted something different to um to look different on my wedding day, because
Okay.
it's always all about the women dressing nice and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, nah, I gotta stand out too. But when I was searching the market trying to find something that I can actually wear on my wedding day, it was like everything's the same to me. Nothing stood out to
Mm.
me. So then I said, okay, let me draw a few things out and see what I can do. Now, mind you, I don't even know how to sew, right? So
Aha.
I drew out my first bow tie on a piece of paper. I'm like, I'm gonna wear this at my wedding. So I bought a
Mm.
sewing machine, I bought my fabric, I bought everything. I started watching YouTube videos just to learn how to sew. But then
Whoa.
I also realized that my bow tie wasn't good enough to wear on my wedding day.
We don't want that mess.
Yeah, so I was like, nah, I can't wear this on my wedding day. So I actually paid somebody and then they sold something nice for me. But I still wasn't
Okay.
satisfied because it still looked like the regular bow
The
tie. And
usual.
I'm so protective of what I put out. So I didn't just want to give my design to somebody else and say, yeah, sew this for me.
Right.
Yeah, so but then I started practicing little by little, little by little. I started with the bow ties first. If you go to my website, which is bluecabals.com, you'll see
Yeah.
that
We're
I
gonna put
had
the link there.
yes,
Hmm.
you'll see that I have bow ties there. That's what I started with. It's completely different from what you see on the market. And
Right.
then I moved on to necktie. So I
Okay.
had neckties for a while, and that's what I was doing. And then quite recently, I'm like, I need to let me branch out of the neckties and bow ties a little bit because I had this idea about t-shirts. But my thing was, if I should do t-shirts, I want to do something that no one else has
Right.
because going to the
Uniqueness.
market, I have to stand out. There's too many
Right.
brands
Right.
out
Right.
there. So
Very saturated.
yes, it's a very saturated market. So I was like, okay, what can I do to stand out so that when people
Hmm.
see my shirt, they'll recognize it right away. Like, oh, okay, we see that, and it's different. So I
Hmm.
I I, I started drawing a few things out, and then I went ahead one night. It was about 2 a.m. in the morning. I was sleeping, and that's my thing. So sometimes when God is ready to work for you, you don't
Hmm.
even understand how that happened.
All right.
Imagine sleeping 2 o'clock in the morning and you just jump up from bed, right?
Mm.
And I'm like, I have this idea. I have to do something right now. So I
Mm.
go to my closet pick up my old T-shirt. Now I had a V-neck T-shirt, right? 2 a.m. in the morning. I cut it up. I'm like, I have this idea. I have to do something. So I cut up my V-neck T-shirt. I took a needle and thread.
Okay.
Yes. So I actually took a needle and thread, and then I saw something together. It wasn't
Ah.
great, but I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. That's the idea, and that's how the whole idea about my design came up. It's called, so I named it the square V-neck. And if you can see, I don't know if you
Mm.
guys can see it right now. That's what I'm wearing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it comes down like a square before it drops into the V, and that's why I call it the
Okay.
square V-neck.
Square V-neck. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's how the idea came about, and I came up with the design.
So women who are watching right now, can you tell us if you have any for women?
Well, for women, yes, I do have dresses for women.
Okay.
Um, what I also have T-shirts for women with the same square V-neck design, and then I have hoodies. My hoodies are unisex because I want everybody to be able to, wear it and not say, "Oh, this is just for the men, this is for the women." I also have sweatshirts
Mm-hmm.
that women can
I have
also
one
wear
of
too.
them. Yep.
Yeah, oh
Yep.
yes,
I have one of them, which I will actually show in this video as well.
yeah,
Okay, so women can order. So you came up with these ideas when you are a dentist, dental hygienist.
yes.
How? Like, tell
It's
us.
God. All I can say is
Okay.
God. I give credit to God because He gives me the idea. So I give God all the credit because, and it came a time that everything that I saw, everything around me became a design. I'm even
Mm,
looking at, the Christmas decorations, and
yeah.
it was a design to me.
Ah.
And I'm like, wow, this is something. Because I was planning to go to dental school. Yes, I'm a dental hygienist. I want to become a dentist. But the more and more I thought about becoming a dentist, the more and more I started seeing designs and getting more ideas about different designs.
Mm,
So I was like, okay,
okay.
God, if this is the path you want me to go in, that's fine. I'm not going to fight it. Because why? And everyone who knows me knows that I've always talked about being a dentist, going to dental school, being a dentist and everything.
Right.
But the fact that I was moving away from that and losing my motivation for that and gaining one towards fashion and business, which I never ever thought I'll be in fashion.
Mm,
That was never my thing. But then I realized that what God was thinking me, so I was like, okay, I'll go that way.
definitely, definitely. Sometimes when we have plans and God laughs about it, like that's not where I want you to go, and then He points us in a direction that we don't sometimes even expect, and
Yeah,
now we just have to go according to His will. So
true.
that's excellent. Um, has it been hard to do this business?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Has it been hard to do this business of yours?
Oh yeah. With every business comes ups and downs.
Right.
So there's challenges, and especially with me coming up with a new design that a lot of people are not used to. They're like, "What is that? I never seen it." Some people are excited to see it. Some people are like, "Oh," but you have to take the good with the bad.
Right.
That's how it works, and that's business. You can't be
For
offended
sure.
because someone
Exactly.
says something about business. No, it's
Exactly.
not personal. It's
Exactly.
business.
It is business.
Yeah.
There's no nothing personal to assign to it. Um, how has it been as a Liberian, right? To not just be successful in your dental field, but also just this whole business because you're coming from home and it's sometimes very hard to navigate
True.
the business society here in the
Yeah.
US because there's a lot of things to navigate through. How has it been? Like considering, you came from Liberia, you're a kid from Africa and you started this business.
I mean, there has been challenges. Sometimes like I said, you meet people who will embrace what you're doing,
Mhm.
and some people will look at you like, "Oh, you just came here. You think you're better than us." And we all face
Right.
those
Right,
challenges.
right, right.
But it's up to you as an individual to navigate around everything. And for me, I'm very good at blocking people out. If
Right.
you come with a negativity, I'm like, okay, you can stay over there with
Right.
that,
Right.
and I'll
Right.
keep going and doing what I'm doing. So that's how I've been able to get my way through, come my way through it. So.
So what is your like who will you consider your target audience?
Now, my target audience pretty much you. for one, you cannot target everybody. That's the first thing.
Right.
Yeah, and that I think
That'll
that's
be a
the mistake.
failure if you target everybody.
Yes, and that's a mistake a lot of people tend to make trying to target everybody. But what I try to do is I try to target people who, for one, want something of good quality, but also at an affordable price.
Right.
Because when I created this design, I could have put my price all the way up and said because all the big brands are doing it, so I'm going to do the same thing. But that's not what I was focused on. I was focused on
Okay.
being able to provide something to my audience that they can afford, but it's also a good quality.
Okay.
So those are the people that I look for, in my target audience. Like everybody wants to look good, but for me, is when you wear my product, I want you to be confident.
Right.
Like yeah, it makes me feel good. I look good, and I feel more confident.
That's good. That's good. So, will you say you have a lot of Liberian customers?
Mm, no, and yes, and the reason why I say that is when it comes to online, it's not like a lot of librarians that know about my brand, and it's even good. I thank you for having me on this show because I know a lot of librarians tend to watch your show, but it's not a lot of librarians that know about my brand when it comes to being online. Now, when they have a event, sometimes like the July 26th and stuff, and I show up, and people are like, "You Liberian and you did this? You sure this is yours? You sure you did it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." So, and that's how I get to meet other Liberians. If I go out to a Liberian event, I try on social media, try to reach out to a few Liberian blogs and just reach out to Liberians in general. Some of them will respond, and some of them won't even respond to you. So
Right.
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And so you diversify and just try to see how best you can market it. So what are you planning to do any of this in Liberia to like do like cross promote? Like what is your plan?
Sure, definitely. For one, the shipping issue to Liberia is a big problem, right?
Okay.
Because I would love for people to be able to buy the product from Liberia and ship it to them, but we all know the whole thing about shipping to
Right.
Liberia. So if you have to ship, you probably have to put on the cargo ship and ship it down. It takes forever. But one thing is my long term goal that I have because right now the manufacturer that I work with is in China.
Okay.
So my long term goal is to create my own manufacturing plant in Liberia
Uh-huh. That's what
where
I
it
was
can be
gonna ask.
manufactured in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the long term goal. But for
Okay.
now, I'm just sometimes if I know someone who's going to Liberia and people that say, "Oh, we want a T-shirt." There are a couple of people in Liberia who actually own it right now because
Okay.
yeah, they were able to purchase. Somebody was coming, but that's a long transaction where you have to wait for
Yeah.
somebody to come before they go back and all of that. So I'm still trying to figure out the best way because shipping is a killer.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, you don't want to buy a
I think
T-shirt
like you
for.
said, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you don't want to buy a T-shirt for because I brought it out to like $25, $26, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to pay $50 to ship it. That doesn't
There's
make
a
sense.
loss. That's
Yeah,
yeah, there's a loss right there. Um, so I like the idea of manufacturing, right? It's not only just gonna promote your business, but it's also gonna increase employment because obviously you'll be hiring people on the ground. So I really do hope that comes, that will work out in the long run.
thank you. Because that's I look at it as we have to create opportunities for our people back home.
Mm-hmm.
So by me doing that, that's a way to say, okay, once I do this, I'll be able to employ people back home. Give them jobs. People
Mm-hmm.
need to feed their families too. So
Of course, of course. So that's a long term goal. And I'm hoping that as people watch this video, they create more awareness about your brand and also
thank you.
support the movement because I mean this business and amongst other things that you're doing will actually help speed up your help in Liberia,
In
right?
Liberia,
It will amplify all of your movements if we can support you. Um, if somebody wanted to like open a business in the US, what one advice do you give them?
one advice I would give is make sure you register your business. Because I
Okay.
know we like how you call it, side business. We,
Conocer business.
we love the side, but make sure you register your business. That's the first thing. Register
Okay.
your business.
Okay.
Be legit. and then you can move on from there. And once you have all your paperwork, then you start doing the right thing. But the first thing is make sure you register your business, and you have to
Mhm.
pay taxes on the business.
Tell it
So
as it is.
yeah,
Tell it. Some people actually open business. I've observed within the Liberian setting, right? And it's not just all Liberians. It's some of them. They open the business, and let's say they decided to close the business. They don't even call to say, I'm going to terminate this business. Behold is accumulating taxes,
yes,
right? What's
this is
your advice? I mean, you own a business here.
like you just said. You have to make sure you call your state and let them know that you're closing down your business. Go through the proper channel, because if you don't, to the state, the business is still functional.
Hmm.
So therefore, every year they expect
Exactly.
you to pay taxes.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're in a state where let's say, because I also do sales tax in Maryland.
Okay.
So if you were collecting taxes from sales, you also have to submit it to the government and give them the money. There's certain
Right.
times I think they give you every 3 months, and then you have to pay every 3 months that you
Yeah.
have to pay. So you
Yeah.
have to make sure you don't do those things. Let's say you open a restaurant, right?
Which a lot of
And
Liberians like to want to open.
yes, a restaurant. But like you said, then you shut down the restaurant. The government doesn't know that the restaurant has been shut down. So they are
Right.
still expecting you to make your payments.
Hmm.
And then later on, you look like, oh my goodness, what happened? Now they come after me for all of this is because you didn't tell them that you were shutting down the business. So
Exactly.
whenever
So
you
that's
dissolve your
very
business,
important.
you have to let them know that business is no longer functioning.
Yeah, you have to go through the whole the state to dissolve the business with your state.
Yeah.
What else can you share to the Liberian people?
Okay. Let's say in terms of my business, I spoke about earlier. Like I said, I am an inventor.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another process that I had to go through. I know people come up with ideas all the time, and they're like, "Oh, what can I do?" My advice is, if you come up with an idea, especially in the United States of America,
Mm-hmm.
please make sure you protect your ideas.
Yeah.
Please, whether it's by trademarking or copyright or patent, please make sure you do those things.
Okay.
There's you can do your own research if you don't want to pay it, but it's a lot of research that you're gonna have to do. There are people out there that you can hire that will help you. There are websites like Fiverr where you can get
Yeah, I like Fiverr.
Fiverr, Upwork.
Upwork.
Yes, so you can get people from there. I use Fiverr a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
when I want to do my patent, I actually use LegalZoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can, and I pay them. They did everything because at the time I didn't really know about that. Another thing, trademark. I did my trademark, the name Blue Cabals. I trademarked that myself. I did my research, went through everything, and I went ahead and did it. It came back successful. So
Would it be
um,
transferable to Liberia in terms of trademarking that?
the
If you
name
were
Blue
to,
Cabals,
yeah.
no. In order to go international, you have to register with the international, everything, and go to the country and do that. So for now, it's trademarked in the United States because it covers
Okay.
just the United States.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. So anyway, I think I've covered mostly what I needed to ask. I mean, is there anything else you can let us know?
Yeah, so I was talking about the patent, right? The
Yes.
reason why I call myself an inventor is because I actually own the patent to the T-shirt that I'm wearing. The square V-neck T-shirt,
Ah.
no
Okay.
one else has it but me. And this is the
Okay.
proof because I know people like to say, "Oh, he just lying." This is the proof
Ah. Mm-hmm.
to say that I own it.
That's good.
Everything is right there.
Congrats.
Thank you. So yeah, I own the design, and no one else can have this design. So if you see it anywhere else,
That's
and it
Blue
doesn't,
Cabal.
yes.
That's you.
So and that's why I always tell people protect your idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
whenever you
Mm-hmm.
come up with something new, there will always be people trying to steal your idea. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
they always want to
Absolutely.
protect that.
Absolutely. I think yeah, I think that's it. I mean, your name Tia. Are you from the Kui tribe?
Actually, I am from the Crown tribe.
Okay.
But the thing now is that because they have divided Grangita into two counties, which is
I'll see.
River G and Grangita. But I'm
Okay.
actually from between it. So now it puts me in the River G part of Grangita. So now they say River G. But
I
all
see.
my life I knew I was from Grangita. Before the war, my father, he was the superintendent for Grangita County
Right,
before the
right.
war. So yeah.
Okay.
But now they say we from River G, but we're still the same people. So
Same people. LIB stand up. LIB stand up.
yep.
How can people contact you?
I'm on social media, which is
Okay.
Blue Cabals.
Okay.
Yeah, it's BLUECAVALZ. Or
Okay.
let me say it like that way. LZ.
If you're like me, wait.
Yeah, LZ. And also you can send me an email.
I will
Everything is
share your
on social
email
media.
with
So
them. Yeah.
you go there, you
Yeah.
click on the link, you can go to, and my website is also bluecavals.com. So it's BLUECAVALZ.com. And you can
All
send
right.
me emails to I'm trying to decide which email address to use because I have so many. But the easiest one is bluecavalas@gmail.com, or
Okay.
just go to support. The easiest, go to support@bluecavalas.com. That's the easiest.
Perfect, perfect. I
Yeah,
will share with the audience, and so they can contact you. I'm sure some folks here will probably be asking business questions and also ordering your items. So thanks for sharing that. I would definitely add it to this video, and
definitely.
also some of your outfits. I do have his sweater, you guys, and it was really nice when I wore it. So it's really hot in California today, but I will definitely add it on this video so you guys
Thank
can
you.
see.
Oh, and,
Thank
and
you.
another thing was thank you for even talking about that. I just thought about something. I also
Mhm.
have an affiliate link.
Okay.
So people can join my affiliate program. That way you have
Okay.
your personal link and you can post it
Yep.
on your social media. Once someone buys through your link, then you get a percentage off of the
Right.
purchase. And the way I see it is, I want everybody to win.
Right.
So I don't want to just actually, oh, I need your help. Can you please do this for me? No, everyone has to win his business.
Right.
So if you put a link there for me and you getting something back from it, we all win. That's how I look at it.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you, and I agree with you. Passive is a passive form of
Yep.
income, you guys. The affiliate link. I do that for Amazon, and I have clients who actually do the same. So that's great.
Thank you.
We look forward to sharing this video and having more people contact you and connect with you. I mean, we're all trying to build Liberia in our own way. And so if
You
you
definitely.
have this business, it needs to be fostered in order for you to do things back home as well. So these are some of the things to consider. So thank you so much for coming on the channel. We look forward to, of course, a long-term professional relationship as we help build our country.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for having me. I've been watching your channel and all the videos, even the one you put out, I think yesterday about
Did for
paying your
yesterday?
taxes back home and doing. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, all these things make sense. So thanks a lot. And again, congratulations on the channel, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
promoting Mama Liberia. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Have a
All
good
right.
day.